Welcome, Shabbat Shalom. Last week we were reading the chapter Noach, or a few weeks ago, right last week. And we were discussing the miracle that happened. And the miracle was that the small ark could contain all the animals of the earth. This was a miracle. The same when the big contains the small happens in our shuls every time. We're so many, and still it's always enough place for everyone. Isn't it a miracle? Welcome, Shabbat Shalom. We're starting our Friday evening service with reciting 7 psalms which are attributed to the 7 days of the week. Let us just remember what happened on Sunday, meaning from Saturday evening to Sunday morning already. We won some important championship, another medal. It was just 1 point, right? And it was not the first time, and it also was a miracle. So many miracles there are in our life. And we are remembering the week throughout the week. And this is the last moment before we light the Shabbat candles to think about the week that passed and think about smallest miracles that happened throughout the week. I'm just giving the cue to one of them. We are starting our service from the psalm on the page 130. It's called Lechu Neranena. Come, let us sing joyously to God. Raise a shout for our rock and deliverer. This is another miracle that happens when we are together. Was that thought from the very beginning? Yes, it was. I invite Aline Raffaelli to light the Shabbat candles with us. No, never. They're called Shamor veZachor. Remember and keep. That's what we do. Next page. I will help you with lighting the same candles. Just where is it? Oh, seconds. It's even before. Here it is. These candles.
First read. Which one? This one? As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be amongst those who kindle light.
Is not what it is. Believe me, they are lit. Yeah. They are lit. Believe me. Really. You see?
I see. A miracle.
Oh yes, another miracle.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. We are on the page Power of the Community. 130. Lechu Neranena. Lechu Neranena l'Adonai naria letzur ishenu. Lechu Neranena l'Adonai naria letzur ishenu. נקדמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו, נקדמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו, כי אל גדול אדוני ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים אשר בידו מחקרי הארץ וטועפות הרים לו. אשר בידו מחקרי הארץ וטועפות הרים לו, אשר לא הים והוא עשהו, ויבש את ידיו יצרו. בואו ונשתחווה ונכרע ונברכה לפני אדוני עושנו, כי הוא אלוהינו, ואנחנו עם מריעותו וצאן ידו. היום אם בקולו תשמעו. Now let's remember about Monday. What happened on Monday? Is there anything special that happened to anyone of you on Monday? Something worth remembering? You may just raise your hands if you remember this. We just need one miracle. You may not say, you may keep it in secret. Just remember, there was definitely something. We just have to be more attentive. So we sing Psalm 96, Shiru l'Adonai, Shir Chadash. Sing to the Lord a new song. שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בחרו מיום ליום ישועתו, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בחרו מיום ליום ישועתו, שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירעם הים ומלואו, יעלוז שדי וכל אשר בו. אז ירעננו כל עצי יער לפני אדוני, כי בא לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים באמונתו. Welcome, Jenna.
Thank you. I'll be reading Psalm 97 on the page 133. The Eternal One is sovereign. Let the earth exult, the many islands rejoice. Dense clouds are around God. The righteousness and justice are the base of God's throne. O you who love God, hate evil. God, guard the lives of your loyal ones, saving them from the hand of the wicked. Light is sown from the righteous, radiance for the upright. O you righteous, rejoice in the eternal and acclaim God's holy name.
Shabbat Shalom. Psalm 98. Welcome, Gail.
Page 143 at the bottom. A song. Sing to God a new song, for you have worked wonders. Your right hand, your holy arm have won you victory. Eternal One, you have shown your victory, displayed your justice in the sight of the nations. You are mindful of your love and faithfulness towards the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth beheld the victory of our God. Hariu l'Adonai kol ha'aretz, pitzchu v'rananu v'zamer.
Zamru Adonai bechinor, bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzrot v'kol shofar, shofar, hariu lifnei HaMelech Adonai. Zamru l'Adonai חצוצרות וקול שופר שופר, הביאו לפני המלך אדוני. ירם הים עמלו, תבל ויושבי בה. נהרות ימחאו כף יחד, הרים ירננו. לפני אדוני גבעה גבעה, ישפוט הארץ. ישפוט תבל בצדק, ועמים במישרים. ירם הים עמלו, תבל ויושבי בה. נהרות ימחאו כף יחד, הרים ירננו.
Very important words for us today. Very comforting. God will rule the world justly and its peoples with equity. Amanda, welcome.
From Psalm 99, the bottom of page 135. God, enthroned on a cherubim, is sovereign. Peoples tremble, the earth quakes. God is great in Zion and exalted above all peoples. They praise your name as great and awesome. God is holy. Mighty ruler who loves justice. It was you who established equity, you who worked righteous judgment in Jacob. Exalt the eternal our God and bow down to God's footstool. God is holy. Exalt the eternal our God and bow towards God's holy hill, for the eternal our God is holy.
השתחוו להקדשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. Page 136, Psalm 29. הבו לאדוני בני אלים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש. כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד יראים. אדוני, אדוני, על מים רבים. כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני בהדר. כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון. וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון וסיריון, כמו בין רעמים. כל אדוני חוצב להבות אש, כל אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש. כל אדוני יחולל איילות, ויחשוף יערות, ובהיכלו כולו. אומר, אומר, אומר כבוד. אדוני למבול ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. את עמו, את עמו, את עמו בשלום. Let's meet the bride. Lecha Dodi, page 138.
לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה בלה.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
לשמות תפארת ולתהילה. לך, דודי לך, דודי לקראת כלה, כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך, דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה בלה.
לקראת שבת נקבלה, כי מקור הברכה, נשמיעתם לסוכות.
סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך, דודי לך, דודי לקראת כלה, כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך, דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה בלה.
התעוררי, כי האורך קומי אורי, אורי שירה ברי.
כבוד אדוני לך נגלה. לך, דודי לך, דודי לקראת כלה, כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך, דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה בלה.
בואי בשלום עטרת עליו, גם בשמחה ובצלצלה. טוב ובונה ים סגולה.
בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך, דודי לך, דודי לקראת כלה, כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך, דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
Since we're talking about the miracles that happened with us throughout the week, let us now share it by shaking the hands of each other, by looking in the eyes of each other. Let us share the miracles of our week. When you hear the music, please come back to your seats. להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך זמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Let's read together. The righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in Eternal One's house, they flourish in our God's courts. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that God is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. Please stand up for Kaddish to separate this part from the most interesting part of the service. 144. We may now be seated. Every time you turn around after saying the call for communal prayer, it's 10 times more people in the shul. How come? But there is a reason for this, because it is said that whoever comes before Shema Israel is fulfilled, has his mitzvah of saying Shema fulfilled. It's the evening Shema. We're preparing, reciting the two blessings before. Let's recite the first one in English, just to remember what it is all about, and the blessing, the benediction in Hebrew. Page 148, please join me. Blessed are you, eternal our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and who arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign over us into eternity. And let's recite the benediction. Baruch Ata Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Speaking about the power of God, in Hebrew the word davar is not just the thing, the material, something material. It's also the same word for the word. This means that we consider words an important part of our life. They help us creating things. Words are material. This is what it reminds us about. And in these days when we see a lot of words, negative words, turned to ourselves, to us, to Jews all over the world, negative words about Israel, they have power. They do have power. People do strange things around the world. They're ruining Jewish sites. They're putting the Magen David on the houses of people who have not at all relation to Jews, just because they want to intimidate, because words have this power. But we also have the power. And this power is much more, because good is worth much more than evil. We know from the Yom Kippur that one good deed may put the scales to the good side, even if there were a lot of bad deeds, you know. We believe in this. Ahavat Olam, everlasting love you offered your people Israel. This is the second blessing before Shema. It talks exactly about this. Love. Love to God, love to your neighbor is stronger than anything negative in our world. Stronger than any words and than any deeds, because it's everlasting. And it's blessed by God. Let's recite in Hebrew. Ahavat olam, Beit Israel, amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadata. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה, ואהבת אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, blessed are you, eternal one, who loves your people Israel. Shema. Please rise. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign in your hand, and let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Please, let's recite on page 155 in English just the first part, and I will conclude with Le'man Tizgeru. The Eternal One said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of the garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe at each corner. That shall be your fringe. Look at it and recall all God's commandments and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and your eyes in your lustful urge. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אמת. We may be seated now. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, there is one God in heaven and earth. The glory heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nation will be one at a peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea, Mi chamocha, who is like our God, who is like you among the gods that are worshipped. Page 158.
כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Amen. Blessed are you, Eternal One, for redeeming Israel. Amen. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום. V'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our sovereign, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Baruch atah Adonai, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. Blessed are you, Eternal One, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. And we will do our small part here. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. Page 162. We are at the Amidah point, and the point when we will in few moments stand up, not yet. On Shabbat we don't say penitential prayers. This is why Amidah does not last 19 blessings. As we know, Amidah has 3 names at least. Amidah, standing prayer, Ahat Tfilah, the prayer, because it was the prayer in the temple, and Shmona Esrei, 18. This is because we have how many blessings in there? 19. Judaism has so many secrets to tell us. We just need to be attentive to count what we need to count, to remember what we need to remember, to keep what we have to keep. Let us not ask anything from God. Let us just be grateful for what we have. This is the Shabbat Amidah. Please rise. We're on the page 164.
Titach Ophia Giteilatecha Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu ve'Elohei Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריע השמש ומוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשמי עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע ונאמן לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קידשת את יום השביעי לשמך, תחליק מעשה שמיים בארץ, וברכתו מכל העמים וקידשתו מכל הזמנים, וכן כתוב בתורתך. So it's written in your Torah.
ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
רצה אדוני אלוהינו בעמך ישראל, ובתפילתם באהבה תקבל, ותהי רצון תמיד עבודת ישראל עמך. אל קרוב לכל קרב פני אליך, אל עבדך וחננו, שפוך רוחך עלינו, ותחזן עינינו בשובך לציון ברחמים. ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר שכינתו לציון. We acknowledge with thanks that you are our eternal God and the God of our ancestors forever. God of goodness, we're grateful for your many bounties, for protecting care
with which your love shelters us, for the knowledge that wherever we are in your presence. May your teaching enrich our life and challenge us to give evidence of our devotion. May our words and our deeds hallow your name and make us worthy of your blessings. אמן. ועל כולם יתברך ויתרומם שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד, וכל החיים יודוך סלע. יעללו את שמך באמת. האל ישועתנו ועזרתנו סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך ולך נאה להודות. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. Praise thy you eternal one who blesses your people Israel with peace.
Amen. We may now be seated. Let's take a few moments to think about this liminal time and liminal day. Shabbat. 6/7 of our lives we do what we choose to, and one day, since we are chosen, we do what God chose us to do. How bountiful, how grateful we should be. No, how bountiful the God is, and how grateful should we be, because we're not provided with work on this 7th day. It's the opposite. We need to enjoy, to be attentive, to see what is not seen when we are messing around doing things. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it the real blessing that we are granted with? Labriyut. It was extremely hard not to notice that here in South Africa everyone is very hospitable, especially Jewish families. Maybe I wasn't exposed to non-Jewish families yet, but I believe there are also, and that you have this dry weekend, and this is amazing, and it's not just because of the weather. And talking about the Jewish families, Torah emphasizes the importance of this mitzvah of achnasat archim, of welcoming the guests. And the oral Torah complements it with many important duties that are related to how to be hospitable in our tradition. The story is told. It's the 18th century. It's near the place where the roots of many of you come. It's Lithuanian-Polish Commonwealth. It's the times of Vilna Gaon, the very important and very deep thinker, commentator of Torah, and rabbi and leader of the Jews in that place. So it's told, once in the house of one of the wealthiest people of Vilnius, in Lithuania now, a fire broke out. And everyone knew that this person always warmly welcomed guests, so everyone was surprised. Why wasn't this mitzvah saving him from this, from the fire? And some decided to ask the Vilna Gaon why the good deeds of this rich man did not protect him from the fire. And the Gaon replied, "This man provided food and drinks to everyone, but never saw off his guests." This Shabbat we're reading the weekly portion of Vayera, which is very rich in events. Among them is the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, of the sinful cities, and the birth of our forefather Isaac, and the binding of Isaac is also in this chapter. But it all begins, and we know that the beginning is very important, it all begins with the episode where Abraham and Sarah receive joyful news from the Almighty that they will become parents in a year time. From whom, not from whom they will become the parents, but from whom they get the news. It was precisely from their guests who turned out to be the messengers of God. So, had they not welcomed guests that day, they would have been deprived of good news, and probably in their 99, she was 98 and he was 99, and by the time they beget, they were 1 year more, they would just lose hope. Out of losing hope, we stop doing things that we were thinking that will suddenly, So they would give up trying. And the moral here is very clear in relation to hospitality. It's important. The Torah teaches us many aspects of hospitality through their example. It all starts here. It's the first example of hospitality in the Torah. Their tent had several entrances from different sides so that guests would not have to walk too far. Then in the desert, they were very generous. They provided travelers with food, with milk, meat, and wine. And they were not stingy also with spiritual nourishment either. They were talking, conversing to people, explaining and proving that there is God, that God is one, that God is the sustainer of everything, and the provider to us, and everything is from God. And when the travelers wanted to pay Abraham for their shelter and food, he was always refusing, saying, "Thank God who created all of this." The extent to which Abraham loved to welcome guests can be judged from the episode at the very beginning of the portion. We know that Abraham had just performed a collective circumcision for all the male members of his family, so they were all sore, and Ishmael and all of the household. He undoubtedly felt unwell and needed rest, so there was a miracle. For 3 days there were no guests in the house, and the Midrash says it was since God sent the great heat and no one was walking. But still, Abraham was sitting in the tent and waiting. Maybe someone will pass. Oh, yeah, everyone praises God. But Abraham could not wait. He sat at the entrance of the tent and was hoping someone might pass by. At that moment, God appeared to Abraham and spoke to him. And suddenly, Abraham saw 3 travelers in the distance and asked God to pause their conversation in order to receive guests. And then he ran to meet the guests and bowed them to the ground. You know, there is a saying that good people promise little but do a lot, and the bad people otherwise. Abraham said to the travelers, "Please don't pass by. We will give you a little water to wash your feet, and you can rest under the tree. I will take a morsel of bread, and you can refresh your hearts. After that, you can continue on your way." Just a little. At the same time, and Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah and said, quickly made ready 3 measures of fine meal, knead it and make cakes. The opposite. He was trying to do even more than he told he would. And also our other forefathers and foremothers teach us that we must be diligent and speedy in every good deeds. In the next chapter, in Hayei Sarah, we will read the same about Rebecca. And she made haste and emptied her pitcher into the trough and ran again unto the well to draw, and drew for all his camels. His, we know whom? It's him. Her will be husband. It is said of Abraham in our portion towards the end, and he planted a tamarisk tree, which is in Hebrew is Eshel, 3 letters, in Beersheba, and called there on the name of the God, the everlasting God. Our teachers explain that the word Eshel in Hebrew is very much related to hospitality. Eshel is an abbreviation for the 3 obligatory aspects of hospitality. Aleph, Ochel, Shin, Shtiya, Lamed, Levaya. Let us try out our Hebrew. Ochel, Ochel. Shin is Shtiya, drinking. And Lamed, Levaya. Levaya, in translation, is accompanying the guests, accompaniment of anyone. So, it appears that when the rich man from back then, from Vilnius, neglected the obligation of Levaya, the letter Lamed fell from the word Eshel, and the word Eshel turned into Esh, which is in Hebrew, fire. And the commandment of welcoming guests could not protect him from the fire. So this teaches us mostly that every letter, not just every word of the Torah, but every letter of the Torah is important, and that every good deed counts. Shabbat Shalom. In this place, empty whiteboards when the advertising is not put, and they say, on this place could be your advertising. On this place we would ordinarily, last week already, welcome those who had birthdays in October, but since CSO wanted us to be more secure, last week we didn't have bracha, we didn't say this. Let us make the October and November birthdays in the end of November and do it all together. The more people we find laughing and enjoying, the better. Also, there is a request. A lot of requests, by the way. One of them is related to the concept of Bar Mitzvah, coming into adultness. Of course, if you have your sons, daughters, granddaughters, grandsons who will soon reach this age, please come to the shul. But also, we invented the project of adult Bat Mitzvah, Bar Bat Mitzvah, and we have few candidates. So if you already have turned the age of 73 or 83, 73, 83, right, or you want it so badly that you may correct it in your documents. No, if you want Bar and Bat Mitzvah and you never had one, you are still valid candidate for this project. Just come to us at after Shabbat, or drop a line in a WhatsApp and conscript. Is it the right word? Maybe not appropriate, but right. So yes, because what is Bar and Bat Mitzvah is another level of our responsibility in life, and it's the establishment of a covenant with God. And it's very important that we all are in a good bonds, in a very solid bonds with God in this worrisome times. Now it's Amidah, the standing prayer. And no, Aleinu Leshabech, right? Mm-hmm. Right. I think something changes, but it never changes. It's Aleinu Leshabech, and is also about saying thanks. We're on the page 586, which also never changed. And I invite Peter Raffaelli and Robert Kapper to help us with opening and closing the ark. What page did I say? 586, right. Thank you. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24, and each moment then. In the faces of men and women I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and every one is signed by God's name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that wheresoever I go, others will punctually come forever and ever.
יש אנשים שזיו זכרם
And this week we remember from Bet David, Sonia Lazarus, cousin of Myrna Margot, Judah Christoph Tabachali, father of Jacob Tabachali, Nathan Brinkman, father of Abe Brinkman, Alan Cronson, brother of Darrell Cronson, Walter Isaacs, father of Merle Oshery, and Dr. Teddy Abro, father of Lynn Raffaeli and the late Jono Abro. From Bet Menorah in Pretoria, we remember Vaughan Yoss, son of Jennifer Yoss and brother of Dale Yoss, Anthea Shelkoff, daughter of Sandra Wurms and sister of Alan, Melisa, and Shelley Wurms. Those who passed away recently: Marcel Talliard, sister-in-law of Lydia and Christa Beer, and Gershon and Elaine Talliard. Marcel was killed by Hamas in Israel. Ivor Fensky, uncle of Diane McCall. And if anybody has a name that they'd like to call out, please do so now. Rabbi will indicate. We also remember, very importantly, those who lost their lives in wars and those who have no one to remember them.
Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for blessing. Please join me on page 598. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועל מה יברך לימודי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי איכון וביום איכון, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהיה שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ועלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתעלה ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה וברית לאלה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה ואמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהיה שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
Thank you very much. We may now be seated for a certain news
On behalf of Ian tonight, Ian's taking a break at the back there. Thank you to everyone who joined us for the service, both here in the shul and also to those who joined us online. Youth service and Cheder classes tomorrow morning will happen with Maura Diane starting at 8:20. And Ian Mann will once again facilitate a study group under the title Machshevet Yisrael. The topic is Rambam. Anyone wishing to register for this series or find out more about the program, please email the synagogue office, and she's standing here. Please see the latest Adkan for more upcoming congregational and communal events, as well as ways in which the South African Jewish community can provide humanitarian aid to Israel. Let us all continue to pray for an end to the hostilities in the Middle East and for a lasting peace for all. There's no brocha tonight on the advice of the CSO, and as a precaution, please leave the synagogue premises immediately after we've made motzi and kiddush. The service tomorrow will be led by Rabbi Shimon. It will start at 10 a.m. and we'll conclude tonight with Ein Kelohenu on page 626.
Thanks.
Ein Kelohenu, ein Kadonenu, ein Kemalkenu, ein Kemoshienu, Micheloenu, Michadonenu, Michemalkenu, Michemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atah Eloheinu.